Yes, I did do a full face of makeup for a YouTube video. No, I don't have many plans today, mostly just studying in my tracksuit. Hello. Today I'd like to talk about food. Dun 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 dun. Cue horror music. Because you know what? I like food. I like healthy food. I like unhealthy food. I like vegan food. I am a vegan. So I like food. I like sharing pictures of my meals that I make, especially if I make something fancy and I'm like proud of it. Good, professional. I like...
Which school?
No, shh. So I like talking about food, basically, is my point. I like talking about food, but I'm not a nutritionist. One, not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. A dietitian is somebody who has gone to school for a lot of years. They've worked in hospitals, they've read scientific papers, they conduct studies. Obviously, depending, there's like, you can get your honors or your masters or a PhD or whatever. And you can study food science, you can study sports nutrition. There's like a lot of people out there who actually study stuff and know what they're talking about. And there's a lot of people out there who have Instagram accounts and YouTube channels who say all this stuff about food and they have zero qualifications. They may have experience. They might be like, oh my gosh, I went on this diet and it really worked for me. It gave me a lot more energy. It made me feel so much better. Why don't you try it? Sure. But there's also not just one diet for everybody. You know, everybody has a different body and there's no one size fits all. I just realized that I'm using the wrong memory card for filming. I'm using like my photography memory card to film this on. My camera doesn't like it, but it seems to be doing okay, so we'll keep going because the battery's dying and I can't be bothered to change it. There's a lot of people out there who, you know, read a blog and now they feel qualified, or they're really fit, so they feel like they can talk about food. They read something somewhere, so they feel qualified to tell you what's healthy and what you should be eating and what you shouldn't be eating. And there's so much stuff out there that's just not true. Coffee is good for you. Not a lot of coffee, like don't go having 6 cups of coffee a day, but like 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day, not bad for you. As actually there's some proven health benefits. Detoxes, not really a thing. You have a liver and kidneys, if they're functioning, you probably don't need to do a detox, eh? Some people do need to go on dialysis because their kidneys and livers aren't working. If that's you, then do that. But most people who go on detoxes and stuff, their livers and kidneys are working just fine. So I don't really know what they're trying to achieve. A lot of people are trying to get rid of toxins and metals and stuff, but if you ask them to like name a toxin or a metal that they're trying to get rid of, they can't. There's a real good book called Bad Science that explains the bad science behind detoxes, and they're not a thing. Don't waste your money on a really expensive juice detox because there's no point. You'll just be hungry probably. Not everybody needs to give up wheat unless you're allergic. Bread is okay. Bread has been a part of the human diet for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And bread is really good. If it's not gonna make you bloat or have an allergic reaction or whatever, eat it. I mean, if you want to. You don't have to, but like if you want to. Cutting out an entire food group is not a good idea. See, now I'm giving like nutrition advice, but for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been trying to only follow qualified people on Instagram and YouTube and stuff for food information. So I follow this really cool account called Plant-Based Pixie. She has studied for a long time. She posts real good stuff backed up by good science, you know, peer-reviewed papers, studies, clinical trials, that sort of thing. Like, so she's great. I also watch this YouTube channel called Healthcare Triage. They deal with health in general and they sometimes tackle food. And again, they give you all the evidence, they can back everything up. And also a lot of food studies are sponsored by the companies that are trying to sell you that thing. The study that said that you need to have breakfast every morning, that was sponsored by Kellogg's. That's a little sketchy. And don't trust everything you read on the internet, which seems obvious, but you know, there are people out there who just believe some funny things about food. They believe that you shouldn't eat pasta. Just a sad life. And I'm not, obviously there are some people who just can't eat pasta, and I'm sorry, but it's not like you shouldn't eat pasta. And there's people who think you shouldn't eat fruit because they say it's got too much sugar in it. Fruit's so good for you. It's got lots of vitamins in it. And normally fruits has like a high water content, you know, so it's like hydrating you, giving you vitamins. So, you know, don't be scared of fruit. Sometimes your body is just like, you know what would be real good right now? A bag of nachos. Do it. And sometimes your body's like, do you know what would be real good now? A burger. And then you're like, cool, I'm gonna go get the best veggie burger and chips and stuff. I can't eat greasy food all the time because then I just feel slow. Sometimes you want to eat like food that's gonna make you feel fit and fresh and make you want to do things. And I think healthy food can taste good. Some people won't eat vegan food because they're just scared of vegetables. They think they're gonna taste boring and they judge the food before they even try it, which just goes to say something about humanity in general. So if you're not gonna do your own research, at least listen to people who will. Do you know what grates my tits is? That thing. I went to the Deliciously Ella Cafe in London, which I loved. The food there was so good. It makes me feel good. It tastes good. But they had a sign up that said, if your grandma wouldn't recognize it as food, don't eat it. And I was like, my grandma wouldn't recognize quinoa as food. She probably would never have come across it in her whole life. And yet they were serving quinoa at Deliciously Ella. In fact, I don't think my grandma would have known what like a gluten-free was. I don't think she knew what a vegan was. If your grandma wouldn't recognize it as food, that's just because your grandma lived a while ago and things have changed. Everything is a chemical. Don't be afraid of chemicals because guess what? Everything's a chemical. I'm making my science friends so proud right now, and I'm making all the health vegans on Instagram go, I don't know what any of this looks like because I can't see myself. I hate filming when I can't see myself. This has been a ramble brought to you by Brooke, who is me. I'm gonna stop now because it's gonna be a 20-minute video. There's so many more points that I wanted to make, so much I left out, I'm sure. I had like a script and I ignored it completely. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up or leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If I'm wrong about something, feel free to correct me. I have no qualifications. I'm not qualified to talk about this at all. I just feel very passionate about facts. Subscribe to my channel. I talk about a whole bunch of different stuff because I haven't figured out what my thing is yet. There's a fly in